Okay, Facebook Live, here we are. Let me get my camera straightened out here. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the 5 love languages. So it's right at 2 o'clock, so 2 o'clock Eastern Time, talking about the 5 love languages. So anybody who doesn't know what the 5 love languages are, there's a really great book that's free on YouTube. You can listen to it live on YouTube. So it's there. I did post that in the group for anybody who's interested in that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it because it's 2 o'clock. So the 5 love languages. Do you know what those are? I see there's a couple people watching. Do you know what the 5 love languages are, and do you know what your love languages are? If you do, put them into the comments. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the 5 love languages are. And I'll start with my 2 favorite love languages. The first one is words of affirmation. So I love it when I get words of affirmation from my wife. When she tells me great things about me. She says, "Oh, honey, I love you. You're so great at this. You're so good at that." It just makes me feel good. I love that. I love feeling important, like I'm valued. It helps me to feel really connected to her. So that's one of my favorites. Maybe you can relate to that. And another one is physical touch. Just having that a hug or a kiss or just having her hand on me. You know, sometimes when we're sitting watching TV or something, she can just put her hand on my leg. I appreciate that. Helps me to feel really connected to her, and helps me to feel important, and I appreciate that. So that's another one of the love languages. So that's 2, words of affirmation and physical touch. Then there is receiving gifts. This is one my daughter loves. She loves to receive gifts, and my wife as well. This is one of her favored needs or favored love languages is receiving gifts. So maybe you can relate to that. That's whenever it doesn't have to be anything expensive either. You can find something along the road, like a pretty flower. It makes you think of them, or you can make something for them, and they really appreciate that as well. And then there's quality time. That's just time alone with your loved one, something, just time. My wife also appreciates this one. This is one of her favorite love languages is quality time. And that's just time where you're present with your partner and you're just there with one another, just spending uninterrupted time with each other. I think the cell phone can be a big challenge to this quality time because people, how many of you when you're with your significant other, you don't feel so significant because the phone is like there and we're like scrolling through. Maybe we're doing it or maybe they're doing it. It can be something that gets in the way sometimes for all of us. And then there's acts of service. That would be for people who really value having a house that's clean, having the dishes done, the stuff put away, the trash taken out. So people really appreciate when their partner does things for them. Can be any kind of act of service. Maybe bringing them coffee in the morning, that could be considered an act of service. Cleaning up can be a big, I hear this all when I work with couples. This is one of the ones that comes up a lot is chores. And a lot of people really want the chores to be done and in a certain way. So this would be acts of service. So for the people who are watching, if you can, put in the comments, just put in there, if you're here live, put in hashtag live. If you're here on the replay, put in hashtag replay. And what's your favorite love language? Is it words of affirmation? Is it physical touch? Is it gifts, receiving gifts? Do you like to receive gifts from your partner? Or is it quality time? Which is your favorite love language? Put it in the comments. And then acts of service, or maybe it's acts of service. So I did put this. I'm actually looking at this sheet. This is a great sheet for you to look at. It's in the group. You can take a picture of that, download it, print it out. It's great. It tells you some things, how to communicate for each need to your partner, and some actions you can take. All of them, yeah. Jamie says all of them. Yeah, I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. Well, I'll say a prayer for your husband. Let's say a prayer for him right now. Please, please, Lord, help her husband that she has all of these. Poor guy. Poor guy. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding, Jamie. I appreciate you. Thanks for replying to that. But I hear that a lot. People will say, "Yeah, all of them," and yeah, Jamie, you think that's funny too. So a while ago, I wasn't in the space that I'm in now, and I wasn't doing what I do now, helping couples to overcome their conflicts, and I had a lot of conflicts of my own. And one of the things I found was I wasn't meeting a whole lot of my wife's needs. Uh, the last one, the acts of service, is that the one, Jamie? The last one, I usually provide the acts of service. Just put that in the comments if that's right. But, before I started doing this, actually, my calling to do this and help other couples came from my challenges with my wife. So that's why I do what I do. And I help couples to overcome their conflicts so they can really enjoy each other again. Because sometimes in a relationship, we get to a place where we don't really enjoy being with our partner. And it becomes like too much like work, too much like, every time I'm here, we always have complaints or they have complaints, or it just comes to a place where we're just not enjoying it anymore. And when we're in love in the beginning, it's really easy. And I help couples to get back to that place where they actually are enjoying one another again, and they're not in that constant conflict. But I wasn't meeting my wife's needs. I wasn't helping her to feel the things that help our partners to feel these acts of service, these receiving gifts. And what these are strategies for meeting our partner's needs. And that's what the 5 love languages are. They're a way that we can meet our partner's needs. Hi, LA. Good to see you. Thanks for commenting. So, what these are is a way to meet our partner's needs. So it's a strategy. And words of affirmation. Encourage, affirm, and appreciate, and empathize. And that will really help to meet our partner's needs for a lot of things. For significance, to help them feel important. It'll help to meet their need for connection. It'll help to meet their need for growth, and help to meet their need also for autonomy. To be appreciated for some of the things that we take action on. It makes us feel good about taking those actions. Now, how many times can you say it's been the opposite in your relationship? When you go to your partner, usually you want to talk to them. You want to talk to them about something that's like, "Hey, you didn't do this right." Right? Can you relate to that? You want to go and talk to your partner. It's like about, "I got a list of 20 problems I want to talk to you about right now." No wonder people don't like to communicate, because a lot of times the only time people want to communicate is when the fecal matter has hit the oscillating device, or the shit has hit the fan. It just depends. Oh, awesome, LA. Your love language is quality time and physical touch. Awesome. So, do you know, LA, what would be the needs that are being met through, what needs are met of yours through that quality time and physical touch? Because it's nice to know the needs that are underneath this, and we can come up with other strategies as well, and we can even ask for other strategies just to mix it up a little bit. Sometimes life can get pretty boring, and that's something that I help couples do as well. And if you have a challenge with that in your relationship, and it's something you're really having a big barrier to, I'd love to talk to you about helping you get over that, if that's something you're interested in, if you're looking for more support. But what would you say, LA, is the underlying needs that are being met whenever you get that quality time and physical touch? I know from physical touch, connection is one of the things that I get from that, because that's one of my favorite love languages as well. Is I feel connected to my wife in that moment. I feel appreciated. I feel understood, or some of the other needs that I feel are being met in that moment. So this is something to think about, and this is something I help couples to understand, is the underlying needs behind these strategies, these 5 love languages. You a random hug, having a random hug and having time together with your partner. That's great. That's great. And knowing this too is important because then you can communicate it. Because you can't get what you don't ask for. Connection, yeah. You can't get what you don't ask for. We can never get what we don't ask for in our relationships. And some of us, I think, this comes up a lot when I'm working with couples, is people are scared to ask for what they want because they've been turned down before, and they're scared to be maybe possibly rejected, or they don't want to be a burden. Can you relate to that? This is something that comes up a lot when I'm working with couples. So if you're just here, I see we have some other people watching. Put in #live if you're here live. And then also, what is your favorite love language? I'm going to mention them again. So there's words of affirmation. That's saying nice things to our partner, what we appreciate about them. There's physical touch. That's giving hugs, kisses, putting your hand on your partner. And do you know your partner's love languages as well? That's even more important. So receiving gifts, that's just giving your partner something thoughtful that you really thought of them. Doesn't have to be anything expensive, depending on your partner, but some partners do like things that are more expensive. And then there's quality time, just being alone together, just kind of being present. I know a lot of the couples that I've worked with, some of the women really appreciate that presence from their man. They appreciate that one-on-one, that one-on-one attention that they get without the cell phone. That's something people share a lot, is the cell phone gets in the way. And then there's acts of service. And LA says, your partner appreciates acts of service. Is there a specific act of service, LA, that your partner appreciates? Because some people like the dishes done and the trash taken out. Some people like, breakfast in bed or some coffee. Some people like different acts of service than others. So is there a specific act of service that your partner appreciates that you'd be willing to share with us? And then receiving gifts. That's something that can meet our partner's need for, or even our need for their need for contribution, for sure. Because when they're contributing to us, that's something can be really important for them. But we feel connected to, understood. I mean, when somebody meets our needs in the way that we really like them to be met, it makes us feel good. We feel understood. We're like, they get us. They know. They understand. And when they don't, I mean, how many times when this comes up, do you try to meet your partner's need through their love language the way that you like? Because like me, I'm words of affirmation. So a lot of times my initial with my wife is to give her words of affirmation because that's what I appreciate. But doing some of this work, I've learned that her favorite love language is gifts and physical touch. So receiving gifts and physical touch is hers. So if this is something that you would like to learn more about, or you have a challenge that's coming up in your marriage, you have a challenge that's coming up in your relationship, and you would like more support around that, send me a DM, send me a message, and we can talk about what that looks like. And if you're still here, put in the comments what's your favorite love language. So I appreciate you being here. I hope you got something out of this. I want you to, if you would, just put a comment in there and tell me what you got from this, and hopefully I'll see you again soon, I'm sure. And if you need some more support on this, just reach out anytime. I'm always here, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great day.